There's nothing inherently wrong with advertising. In essence, generally, Party 1 wants to reach a new audience, so they borrow the platform of Party 2. A couple core issues obviously are where are the ad dollars coming from, and how much does in the case of news, how much does your newsroom depend on them? Is the company you're running ads for evil? Do you want your news outlet to be sustained by ad dollars from an evil company? But then we get into an entirely new plane of issue when the news outlet is no longer just the platform running the ads. They are the creator of the ads. And then further, when the ad itself ceases to even appear as an ad. Now, what I'm talking about is the advertorial. I'm gonna read part of an op-ed that I think is really valuable by some great journalists from OptOut, which is an app that I use and I'm a big fan of. I'm gonna talk about them in a couple minutes. I'm also gonna play part of a video that I made for them, which is located on their channel, a video for which I was compensated, but that I also fully endorse. However, no money changed hands for the creation of this video. They just all do really good work, and it cannot be talked about enough what an odious invention the advertorial was. Mobil invented what is called issue advertising or advocacy advertising in the late 1960s and early 1970s to deal with image problems. An oil tanker had just dumped a large amount of oil on the lovely beaches of Santa Barbara, California. Access to trusted outlets such as the New York Times and the Los Angeles Times, which worked with Mobil to publish content that helped the company establish a friendly, responsible reputation, went a long way toward painting Mobil as a corporate good guy. But in 1973, something unusual happened. Mobil's PR department created TV versions of its print advertorials, and two commercial stations, CBS and ABC, declined to run them, explaining that the spots were propaganda and that running them would be unethical and might even violate FCC regulations. Mobil execs saw this as the potential end of a strategy that had helped them win over not only the public, but also journalists and policymakers. The company launched a major offensive, placing op-eds in all the big papers and sending flags onto every TV and radio show to alert the public to the urgent need to protect corporate free speech rights. Mobil helped support the precursor to Citizens United, First National Bank of Boston versus Bilotti, and fought hard for their right to continue using the media as their personal corporate PR machine. When Mobil Oil and the Times teamed up to create the advertorial in the 1970s, their spin doctors admitted freely that the goal of the partnership was to influence the influencers. In fact, part of the original legal push for corporate personhood in the US stems from those early Mobil campaigns. And this continues today. New York Times, Washington Post, Vox, they all have their own native advertising departments where they create content for many companies, including polluters. From the Washington Post, low and no carbon future starts with natural gas. From 2019, here is Johnny Harris of Vox fame talking about native advertising at Vox as an innovation in digital media.
At Vox, we also have an arm that is an in-house advertising agency, and then we also have an in-house publisher that makes our technology, that makes our CMS, what we use to publish. And so between the ad and the people who make the technology that publishes our stuff on the internet, we're able to go to an advertiser and say, hey, we can make you a custom, beautiful ad campaign that fits right into our whole experience. It's going to be beautiful. It's not going to be a clunky display ad. And your campaign will feel natural and native to the experience. And so because of that, our ad rates are going up, while ad rates for everyone else are going down because we offer this kind of one-stop shop.
He's talking about ads that don't really feel like ads. And I guess depending on the company, it can be innocuous, but I did a whole video about a piece of native Vox advertising they did for the dairy industry, which was not. Being a news outlet with an in-house ad agency reminds me of a Bill Hicks joke about people in advertising, which you can look up for yourself. Now, like I said before, the op-ed I was just reading from was drafted by a few OptOut members, Alex Koch and Maria Bustillos, with reporting by Amy Westervelt. The full thing is linked below, along with the video I helped create for OptOut. I did the editing and graphics for it. The 3D shots literally took days for my computer to render, but if you leave a comment about how good they looked, then I'll know it wasn't for nothing. I'm also a member, so you can find my stuff on OptOut. They're not collecting your data. They have no connection to any tech firms. It's free. I was talking on the phone with one of the creators, journalist Alex Koch, and he said he just wished there was a news feed he could scroll through that was only independent progressive news outlets. So that's why he and the others made it. They also have progressive local outlets from all over the country, which I'm a big fan of. So check it out. You won't regret it.
Who is to blame for lack of climate action? Well, there's the oil companies, of course.
Many scientists agree there's ample time to better understand climate systems and consider policy options. So there's simply no reason to take drastic action now.
PR and ad agencies who came up with stuff like this.
Energy, environment.
Some say it's either or. I don't buy it. Join us and become an energy voter.
The politicians who carry water for the fossil fuel industry.
Members of this committee need to start focusing on the issues that are impacting everyday Americans and the consequences of an overly ambitious and unrealistic climate agenda.
There's one culprit that's always missing from discussions of climate accountability: the media. Corporate-backed and legacy news media has partnered with the fossil fuel industry for decades.